Good evening, everyone. Agree. Welcome to VFA's first ever demo day, live from Detroit, Michigan, here tonight. Please come on in, grab a seat. The bar will remain open for some time, so don't worry. You will get your second drink. I'm Amy Nelson. I'm the CEO of Venture for America. Thanks. We just had a really big day today. Many of you were candidates at Selection Day. I hope it went well for all of you. We heard from Dan Gilbert, who is one of the reasons that we're all here tonight. And we're about to hear from 7 amazing teams of Venture for America alumni who are building companies. They've been spending 4 months here in the Motor City building their companies, and you're going to hear about them tonight. But first, I just wanted to, thank all of you for joining. This room is full of people who want to be fellows, who are fellows, who have hired fellows, who just think that fellows are great, and who work for VFA. So I'm really pleased that that sort of entire community can be here tonight. I want to thank the William Davidson Foundation for bringing the Venture for America Accelerator here to Detroit, and Quicken Loans for hosting and also supporting. You're going to hear some really, really interesting companies tonight. They are really fledgling baby companies. We now have, I believe it's 41 companies that our alumni have created that are something that resembles a going concern. And those companies have created about 200 jobs. I think it's a little more actually now, across the country in really just the last 3 years. So we're just getting started, and this is the next crop that hopefully will grow to be a company like Bonza, which won Accelerate Michigan a few years ago and just closed a $7.5 million Series A. They were growing right here in Detroit. Or our friends at Ashton Erie. I don't know if Steven or Eric are here tonight, but they were recently on a show, you might have heard of it. It's called Shark Tank, where they got a deal from the one and only Mark Cuban. And they also did this program 2 years ago. And so we hope that these companies will achieve really the same level of success and even beyond that as many of our alumni have over the years. So I'm gonna next hand the mic to Sergey Revzin, who is our entrepreneur in residence, who has been sort of the Sherpa for these teams over the last couple of months. He's gonna tell you about how the accelerator works and then introduce the companies to you. I hope you enjoy the evening. It is not a competition, so just vote with your applause tonight. They will eventually be pitching for money soon, so this is kind of the dress rehearsal for that happening in New York next month. So wish them luck with that as well. All right, Sergey.
Thank you, Amy. All right, welcome again to the first ever Venture for America Selection Day reception featuring the Demo Day. Big round of applause. All right. Thank you all so much for being here. I want to also echo some of Amy's words and say thank you for the candidates who just endured hours of our selection process. Thank you for being patient and rolling along with it. You all carry and embody the entrepreneurial spirit that we love to see in our fellows just by participating in this, as you took a risk to participate in our process without any guaranteed outcome. You took a chance, and so you also deserve a round of applause for enduring today. Thank you. Another reason why I'm so excited for the candidates actually to be here tonight is because you get to be in a little bit of a time machine. You get to peer 2 to 4 years into the future and see where you might be in just a few short years if you just dedicate yourselves to work hard at the companies that you go work at after you graduate college, learn as much as you can from founders and other people that you work with so you can get the confidence to launch companies of your own. And here at VFA, we know how difficult it is to actually start a business that thrives, that supports you and others around you, which is why we think we take it so seriously to help you experiment along the way. We have actually a dedicated team called the Launch Team, that's my team, that helps people who want to start companies with things like the Validation Challenge, which is a 2-week opportunity to work on an idea with fellows in your city or across cities to get it from an idea to a validated concept. The Social Enterprise Award, which lets people with social impact businesses actually go out and try to pitch for money, like $10,000 to $20,000. The crowdfunding competition called the Innovation Fund, which many of the teams that you're going to see here today actually have done. It's an opportunity to raise money through crowdfunding from your community and win some money from VFA as well. The Venture for America Accelerator, which is the first opportunity for alumni of the fellowship to work on their businesses full-time, live together, share an office space, not have to worry about rent, not have to worry about legal fees, how they're going to pay for their next meal. VFA covers all that. We don't take any equity because that's how much we believe in fellows working hard to prove out their own concepts and build sustainable businesses. And finally, our seed fund for fellows who go on and have higher growth companies that actually need to raise money. So as Amy mentioned, this has resulted in about 20% of all of our fellows and alumni working on side projects and businesses at any given point in time. 35 million, maybe even a little bit more raised to date, and actually over 200 people now working full-time in our companies. And I'm very excited for the accelerator companies to contribute to some of these statistics in the years moving forward. This is the third year of the accelerator program. The first year that we've been able to do it in Detroit, thanks to the William Davidson Foundation and Quicken Loans for helping support us. But Detroit is such a meaningful city for us. It was one of our first markets. It continues to be one of our biggest cities where we send fellows with amazing company partners and amazing supporters that help us do what we want to do to help these young people start companies. So now I'm going to introduce you to Caroline Hatfield. Caroline was a 2015 Venture for America fellow who started her fellowship in Denver. She ended up moving to Detroit when she heard that there was another woman named Anna Isachenko who raised money in the crowdfunding competition to start her own artist residency called The Forge. And after Caroline joined her, they were able to actually make it a reality. They now have a house where there's artists and designers and musicians living in that house and building on their craft, creating things, and continuing to perpetuate the mission that VFA wants to perpetuate. I wouldn't be able to put this program on without Caroline. We brought Caroline on as accelerator coordinator in the beginning of the summer, and she has been an integral part in making this program happen. You can ask any of the teams here. She has truly been an extension of the team, a true partner to all the individuals that you're going to hear from tonight. So thank you so much, Caroline, for the work that you did at the accelerator. Couldn't do it without you. And now I'm excited for her to introduce the teams to you.
Thank you. Like you said, I'm Caroline. I've been working very closely with all of these beautiful people for the last several months, and I'm so excited for them to show you what they've been working on. They've grown personally and professionally, and I feel like a proud mama up here, and it's great. All right, let's get started. First up, we have Freddie Adenuga, a 2015 alum who spent his fellowship in Columbus. Freddie joined VFA to learn the ropes of entrepreneurship and ultimately launch his business, Sweatseal. After working on the product for a while, Freddie won this year's VFA Innovation Challenge and VFA's Summer Celebration Pitch Competition, judged by Damon John. Throughout years of hard work, including a live stream of him walking on a treadmill for 6 hours to test the product, Freddie has brought Sweatseal from an original prototype to a beautiful undershirt, all with his characteristic charm and lack of sweat stains. Please help me in welcoming Freddie to the stage.
Thanks, Caroline. Ooh. Well, evening, everybody. My name is Frederick Adenuga, and I'm the founder of Sweatseal, a company on a mission to end sweat stains for good. Now, I originally went to Florida State for undergrad, Go Noles, and that's where Sweatseal was born. Like, I'm no stranger to the stage. I love being here. But often I found myself, when I'm in the middle of presentations, I will look down and be in shock. I'll be like, oh my goodness, I look good. But aside from that, oh my goodness, I could not escape sweat stains. This was a fact of life for me. It got so bad that my friends eventually gave me the nickname Sweaty Freddy. I mean, that came from the fact that literally under my arms were more runny than Niagara Falls. I mean, nothing I tried would work. And after this happening only so many times, I started to think, am I that special? Like, am I the only Sweaty Freddy out there? How many other people have this problem? And after just some quick Googling, I found out that over 20 million people are considered chronic passive sweaters. That means 20 million people, just by pouring morning cereal, end up having Lake Erie under their arms. And here's the thing, for many of us, there is nothing that works. And like the president says, believe me, we've tried many of these solutions. Many of us rely on hacks, like putting napkins in our shirts to try and guarantee that we won't get sweat stains. But for many of us, we just thought that there had to be something better. And I thought that I could make something better. And that's what Sweatseal is. Sweatseal is a custom undershirt that guarantees that you won't get sweat stains. It took over 3 years to develop and has dozens of features, all to guarantee that you will always look your best and never have to worry about sweat stains again. And believe me, I am wearing it. It's just a custom version. And some of the features is that it has something called the hybrid design, which is a blend of a tank top and a white undershirt, allowing it to be worn with anything in your wardrobe and will give you the ultimate protection. And speaking about ultimate protection, it's the only undershirt that's 100% sweat-proof. So it's not just under the arms that will give you protection. Everywhere that the shirt covers, you are guaranteed to get the ultimate protection using our shirt. Now, we launched Sweat Seal in using 2 crowdfunding campaigns this past year, the first one being in this year's Innovation Fund. And I did everything to try and get people to be interested because I thought like, hey, I think there's a lot of sweaty people and I think I have a solution for them. So we sold each shirt for $22, and upon launch, the traction has been incredible. In 60 days of selling this year, we have sold nearly $70,000 worth of shirts. That's over 3,000 shirts sold in only 2 months of selling. It's gone, that's a lot of sweaty people looking for a solution, and it's been incredible. Because these people, they just want to look their best, and they're tired of seeing things from competitors that tell them that, hey, you have a problem, you have a clinical problem, and we have a clinical solution. We had a different marketing approach. We believe that, you know what? You look amazing. And we're gonna seal that fact if you wear one of our shirts, because you should never have to worry about sweat stains. So we pushed that message through every marketing channel that we could find, through getting feature testimonials, through paying influencers. We wanted to get the message that, hey, if you have sweat stains, we have a solution for you. And that's what got us all the traction that we've been able to get so far. Because this is not a small market. This year alone, over $360 million has been spent on sweat repellent products. We're trying to find something that works. And of that $360 million, over $13 million has been spent on sweat repellent shirts like Sweat Seal this year alone. That's more than double last year and is expected to double again next year. That's why we are currently on pace to sell over 15,000 shirts by April of next year. That's 5 months away. Because with traction like having $35,000 of average monthly revenue, getting over 300% return on every marketing dollar that we spend, and making $17 per shirt, we have set a foundation that we believe will set Sweat Seal for a great future. And this is just the beginning. We're soon gonna be launching new lines of shirts that fit different types of clothing. We're launching a line specifically for women because, believe it or not, women do sweat. And also, we're also launching various ads in different languages so that people across the world, no matter what language you speak, will be able to see our messages and know that, hey, there's a solution out there to keep you sealed. And that's why our biggest need right now, our ask right now is for purchase order financing, is that we have an incredible future ahead of us, and we want to make sure that we have the inventory to support all the great momentum that we have. Sweat Seal was started for a simple reason. It's to give people confidence, to give me confidence to be able to know that they don't have to worry about their clothes, so that they can know that if they're wearing one of our shirts, that we have them sealed. So we can turn all the sweaty Freddies out there into sexy Freddy. So thank you so much for hearing me out. It's been an incredible 3 months. I look forward to talking to you afterward.
All right. Next, we have 2016 Columbus Fellow Brandon Gell. With a background in architecture and user experience design, he set out to make the ugly business of insurance and protection plans more human and enjoyable. Earlier this year, on his way to Bonnaroo Music Festival with about 20 other VFA fellows, Brandon made a fateful stop at Walmart, where he was offered a protection plan that sparked the idea for his business, Clyde. Without further ado, let's welcome Brandon to the stage.
Hey everyone, my name's Brandon. I'm actually wearing a prototype Sweat Seal right now, and it's working great. All right, so Clyde. As I said, my name is Brandon Gell. I'm the founder and CEO of Clyde. We make protection plans easy. You know when you go to a Walmart or the Best Buy of the world and you're offered an extended warranty or a protection plan? The reason that you're offered that is because 30% of customers that Walmart and Best Buy offer this to say yes. And that leads to more than 50% of annual profit at these big box stores. So at Clyde, we're asking ourselves, why aren't SMBs doing this too? Why aren't small, medium, and growth stage companies offering this to their customers? It comes down to three main reasons. The first one is managerial resources. It takes a lot of work to be able to offer a program like this. The second reason is technical skill. Being able to offer a program like this on your e-commerce store or your physical point of sale requires technical development. Third, and most importantly, is financial risk. So while the Walmarts and the Best Buys of the world can go to insurance companies and say, will you underwrite and administer these policies and contracts, SMBs don't have that kind of clout. That's why we built Clyde. Clyde makes it easy for SMBs to offer extended warranties and insurance for their products at the point of sale seamlessly. The reason that we're doing this is because we want to drive passive revenue for businesses and enable them to add directly to their bottom line and enable them to offer a great service value to their customers. So when something breaks, their customers don't need to pay to get it fixed. So the way that we do this is really quite simple. We're developing an online plugin and a physical point of sale plugin that stores can just download straight to their e-commerce store. It's as simple as taking them through an onboarding process in which they select which products they want to offer policies for, they white label the offering, and then we connect those products with policies at our partner insurance company. For a customer, it's as easy as adding protection at the point of sale, online or in person. So how does Clyde make money? When a business decides that they want to offer Clyde, they select which products they want to offer policies for. We take those products, we match them with a contract at our partner insurance company. We take the premium of that contract, we add a service fee on top of that, and then we return that number to our businesses. Those businesses then have the opportunity to decide how much they want to sell the plan for, thus deciding their own margins. So let's take Detroit Bikes, for example. Detroit Bikes is a committed customer, and they've decided that they want 3% margin on every plan that they sell. If they sell 10,000 bikes a year, we can imagine that they'll sell 3,000 policies. For Detroit Bikes, that means they'll be making $63,000 of passive, risk-free revenue that goes directly into their pocket annually. And we're building Clyde to be able to scale seamlessly through e-commerce platforms. We already have 10 companies that are committed to offering. And today, I'm really excited to announce that we're partnering with a Fortune 500 national insurance company to underwrite and administer policies that are sold through Clyde. Initially, we'll be launching on Shopify and with a web app. The reason that we're doing that is because Shopify has great integration protocols, and they have an awesome community of stores that really enjoy using applications. On the top 4 e-commerce platforms alone, there's 620,000 stores that sell products that can be matched with policies. That means that consumers are spending $309 billion on products that can be matched with policies, which gives Clyde an addressable market of $13.5 billion. So far, we're in conversation with 3 insurance companies, one of which is a committed partner. We have 10 businesses that are committed to offering Clyde, and we have 2 drop shipping partners that would like to distribute Clyde to all of their customer base. As I said before, we're launching on Shopify with extended warranties because we can do that right now. When we launch in Q1 of 2018, we'll then be expanding that product to the top 4 e-commerce platforms. And then our vision is to create an agnostic JavaScript widget that connects any kind of product with any kind of insurance. Think the Stripe for insurance. We have an awesome team. As I said, my name is Brandon. I have 5 years of experience bringing products to launch with development teams. Josh, our CTO, has 10 years of development experience, 5 years of which are in the fintech industry, and Nick is a really talented front-end developer. So our ask for you today is, first and foremost, if you know any businesses that might be interested in offering Clyde, I'd love to talk to you after. And secondly, if you have any connections to insurance providers, we're really interested in growing our marketplace, and we'd love to be put in touch with them as well. So thank you guys so much. It's been a pleasure to be a part of the Accelerator. Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have 2015 alum Alyssa Gill. During her fellowship in Providence, Alyssa launched a clothing brand called Home Team that she planned to expand to Detroit during the accelerator. Throughout this experience, she became inspired by people building brands across the city, connecting with other fashion designers over shared passions and challenges. These connections motivated her to focus on ways she could help designers gain more exposure and amplify their brand's tie to the city. This is why she's launching Place. Let's get her up here to tell you more about it.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Alyssa Gill, and I'm the founder and CEO of Place, an experiential marketing company. I'd like to introduce you all to someone I've been privileged to get to know over the past few months. Kenyatta is a mother of 8, a local fashion designer, and a founding member of Pingree Detroit, a company that upcycles materials from the local automotive industry and employs veterans to create new products. And just like the Motor City is sewn into this bag, every product is inherently tied to the place where it's made. And American consumers are demonstrating that they care about this now more than ever, with 80% preferring to buy American-made products and 60% being willing to pay more money for American-made products. And entire companies and brands are being built because of these statistics. One company held a focus group asking customers to choose between a $5 Chinese-made pen, a $10 US-made pen, and a $15 Detroit-made pen. And consumers consciously paid more money for the Detroit-made pen. This company that held the focus group was Shinola, one that you may have heard of. And they successfully built a brand celebrating Detroit manufacturing and creating stores that are truly retail experiences, where you can immerse yourself in the high quality of American manufacturing. And this has proven to be lucrative for Shinola. They generated $100 million in revenue in 2015 alone. And other companies, actually, of all sizes, need to be more like them. They need people to experience the essence of their brands. Because 70% of millennials prefer spending money on experiences over purchasing products. So it's no wonder that companies spend over $500 billion a year on experiential marketing to create ways for customers to engage with their brands that are new and exciting. Companies like General Electric paid a New York City retailer called Story this amount of money for a Making Things themed pop-up shop featuring 3D printers people could play with alongside 3D printed jewelry they could buy. American Express paid Story to build a Home for the Holidays pop-up shop featuring curated brands from across the country from small companies so people could really feel the essence of American Express's dedication to American small businesses. But the thing that Story is missing that Shinola does so well is implementing that city aspect, tying themselves to cities, sorry, I'm so thirsty. Thank you. One moment. All right. Thank you. While you're doing that. All right. So the thing that Story is missing, that Shinola does so well, is tying retail experiences to cities and creating retail experiences that celebrate these cities. So Place will tell the story of cities instead, creating city-inspired retail experiences in the form of pop-up shops. Take General Motors, for example, another company you may have heard of. If not, you can look behind you. The problem is that they're too big to feel like Shinola, to be in touch with brands like Pingree Detroit, the bag that's made of upcycled materials from the local automotive industry. And Pingree Detroit is too small to have the resources to create the retail experiences as high quality as Shinola does. So Place will build the bridge, taking advantage of the authenticity of Pingree Detroit and the resources of General Motors to build a bridge between the two and create shopping experiences that would only rival Shinola and create the Shinola effect. So for example, General Motors would pay Place to build a Motor City Detroit pop-up shop, celebrating the history of the birth of the automotive industry, and of course sneaking in some info around the latest cars, featuring curated products from small, authentic local brands such as Pingree Detroit, and video content featuring Kenyatta working in her workshop, making you feel like you're there with her. So this is not just the story of GM or Pingree Detroit or Kenyatta, it's my story as well. As a VFA fellow, as Caroline mentioned, I launched my own fashion brand that was inspired by the city of Providence. And people loved supporting a young entrepreneur who was doing something for the city, as a proceed of my sales went towards local nonprofit organizations. So, thanks. So I wanted to replicate that success for the designers that I met. I met designers who were college students who took their brands to Paris Fashion Week, designers who were doing this on nights and weekends, and so I'm creating Place and moving forward with it to see if I can get them more exposure and credibility by associating them with brands such as General Motors. So I'm excited to share that we're running our first pilot on a very small scale with a local Detroit startup, creating pop-up shop experiences that will allow people to feel the essence of their brand and its tie to the city. So if you'd be interested in piloting with Place for your company or able to advise on corporate partnerships, I would love to talk to you afterwards. Thanks.
All right. Next up is Chris Contes, a 2015 alum in St. Louis. While working as a sales manager, Chris noticed his sales reps making the same mistakes over and over again. And in sales, mistakes are expensive. He told me he used to actually whisper in their ear during calls to help them to say the right thing to the customer. That's when he realized there must be a more sustainable way to help the team perform. So he created Balto. I'll let him tell you more about it, but basically, he's trying to make your next call to the cable company a little less miserable. Let's bring him to the stage.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. It's great to be here, and it means a lot to have everyone's support. So thank you very much. Again, my name's Chris Contes. I am the co-founder of Balto Software, and we are live call guidance for phone reps, and I'll tell you a little bit about what that means. But first, I kind of want to familiarize you guys with the challenge that we're trying to address. And you guys can read this quote on your own. But I want you to think about for a second, if people could communicate better, fundamentally understand each other, when you have a communication, when you're talking to your friend, to be able to understand really what that person is really fundamentally trying to communicate, what that could do for society. And we're trying to build software that in real time understands human conversation and tells people the optimal things to say all in real time. And the first application for that has been in call centers, because people don't like talking to people in call centers. So this is a real case study. We do have a couple customers already. Acme.io is not the name of the company, but they are real. They're one of the top 5 largest call centers in the United States, and they do campaigns for companies like Google, SAP, and Blue Jeans, of which Balto is a part. And they failed a secret shopper test, which meant that, as you may expect, people were calling in, and these call center reps were not doing a good job explaining what the products did, and they weren't making sales, and customers were hanging up the call in frustration. Here's the 3 things Balto identified. In real time, we analyzed the audio on thousands of phone calls, recognized that the reps were failing to recognize the pains of their customers, they weren't asking good questions, and they weren't using benefits first language. And within 30 days of this enterprise rollout, we increased customer interest signals on phone conversations by 2.8 times, increased the pains that people opened up about by 2.9 times, and on an annualized basis, increased the revenue of this call center by over $180,000. So here's the challenge. Almost 3/4 of sales leaders say they need more training with their phone reps, but they only spend 20% of their time doing it. And as a result, you get these large, impersonal group trainings, turnover's high, and people are inexperienced. And furthermore, over half of what they learn in 1 week is lost. You have a customer yelling at you on the phone, it's hard to remember the call training you did a week and a half ago. After 90 days, after 1 month, over 90% of that information is lost. So current sales training methods simply don't work. So this is what Balto looks like. It's sitting on the screen in a call center in real time, analyzing audio, and it's looking for all kinds of things. Are they asking the right questions? Are they digging for pains? Is the customer happy? What kind of language are they using? What is the optimal language the rep could use back to win the call? So simple things like you're talking too fast, you're dominating, to more complex things like the person has a concern about price. Here's the optimal way to handle that objection. You can imagine on a large scale how this could improve a large enterprise call center and their bottom line. So here's a little bit of our background. We were founded in January 20th of this year. We took it full time. We made our first sale in June to a call center in St. Louis, and since then have enjoyed 280% month-over-month growth with a couple large enterprise deals. Acme, that account that we saved was 20 reps. They've now bought over 100 licenses. And Empire Today, the carpet company whose jingle we're all familiar with, uses Balto and credited us with increasing sales within 1 week of install, which is something that there's tons of software out there. I can tell you enterprise rollouts do not usually go that quickly, and it usually takes months to see these types of results. So this is the team. We have Mark, myself, and Davidson. We're the three founders. And Mark and myself were both successful sales reps previously. I managed a sales team, and he was the big closer at his company. And Davidson, our CTO, worked for the US government in their AI, doing artificial intelligence, and actually managed a database of over 50 million images and to determine if they were doctored from like dictatorships and things like that. So he's one of the smartest artificial intelligence guys in the country, and I'm talking him up right now because he's a very quiet guy and he's watching this, and I know it's like freaking him out a little bit. So here's what we need. We are starting to do our raise. We've started this, we want to do our first round with angels rather than larger institutional money. So if you have an interest, please let us know. Of course, if you know any call centers or people who might have an application for this technology, I am a sales guy. Come find me. I'll take your information and call you 9 to 12 times over the next month until you take a demo with us. And if you know any software developers, like every tech company, we need a couple more. You can also go to baltosoftware.com/demo day. It's a landing page for this particular event. Investors, you can ask for our executive summary, anything you want, and you can also ask for a demo if you're interested. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you, VFA, for the last couple months. It means the world to us, and it's been great growing with everybody. So thank you.
All right. Coming to the stage next, we have 2013 Providence alum Drew Jankowski. As soon as he could walk, hang on, gotta get a visual. There we go. As soon as he could walk, Drew was learning how to play golf with his parents. His passion and skills led him to play Division I golf at Dartmouth. He was constantly looking for new ways to improve his game, but found that there were no existing tech tools to help him do so. Realizing his background in product design and computer science could help him solve this problem for himself and other golfers, he decided to build Eagle Eye. Welcome to the stage, Drew.
Thank you, Caroline. How's everybody doing? Good? Check in? Awesome. Well, as Caroline said, my name is Drew Jankowski, and I'm the founder and CEO of Eagle Eye Golf. At Eagle Eye, we're empowering golfers to improve their games. Now, I love golf. Golf's this really simple game where you just have to get the ball into the hole. But simple doesn't mean easy. And to improve, it takes diligent practice. You have to track your data, analyze it, and you have to spend time reading, watching YouTube videos, educating yourself, taking lessons. So if you're a serious golfer right now, a high schooler or a college player, this is the state of the art. A little overwhelming, right? This is an Excel model, and if you mess up a formula, you spend more time fixing the model than you do actually improving. And it doesn't even address the diligent practice or the education pieces that I mentioned before. So golfers are starting to turn to some other technologies to solve this problem, but nothing covers all three of those aspects of improvement. And that's why I created Eagle Eye Golf. Eagle Eye is like a coach and a caddy in your pocket, tracking your diligent practice, performing the data analysis behind the scenes, and giving you the education that you need to improve the next time you go onto the golf course. As a player, you simply enter two things about every shot that you hit: what your target was and what the outcome was. Then Eagle Eye performs the analysis behind the scenes, and like a coach, it tells you what shots to hit in practice to get the most out of that practice session. Like a caddy, it tells you what to expect on the golf course so you can pick the right club and the right target for every situation. Similarly, it teaches you about your strengths and your weaknesses so you can play to those strengths and away from those weaknesses in order to lower your scores on the course. So here's what it looks like in practice. You come to this hole, you're feeling confident, so you want to hit driver, right? Well, if you check Eagle Eye has an understanding of your shot pattern for your driver, and you maybe shouldn't hit it. You might get into a little bit of trouble there. If you scale back and hit a 3-wood, you're going to lower your score on that hole overall. And if you continually make those smart decisions on the golf course, your scores are going to improve, and you're going to score to your potential every time you're on the golf course. So we launched in the middle of August, and it's already working. We're working with college and high school teams. Nate's using Eagle Eye to understand his shot patterns, and his scores are going down. So soon we'll be launching premium subscriptions for advanced features, and at $100 a year, that's less than a new golf club or a high-quality professional lesson. And that's for something that's there with you in your pocket every single time you're on the golf course. So I mentioned we're starting with these competitive golfers. There's 250,000 high school, college, and competitive amateurs in the US, and that's an addressable market of $25 million for Eagle Eye. As the product improves and becomes easier to use, we'll begin addressing the dedicated golfers of the United States. These are the folks playing more than 20 rounds a year. And that's a $200 million opportunity for Eagle Eye. But there's 29 million casual golfers as well, and eventually we'll be able to help them and tap into this $3 billion opportunity. We have a really great team. Pete and I played golf together at Dartmouth, and he's since gone on to play professional golf, where he built partnerships in the industry that we'll need to get to the next level. Chris and I built software together at Mojotech for other businesses, so we know what it takes to bring a product that meets real user needs to market. We're really excited about all of the golfers that we can help with Eagle Eye. So my ask for you today is to take out your cell phone, copy down this URL, and send it to 1 or 2 people that you know who golf, because we need more feedback and we need to get more users on Eagle Eye. Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have Ellen Curran, a 2015 alum who spent her fellowship here in Detroit. Ellen never expected to start a company, but still she found herself flexing her entrepreneurial muscle with VFA launch activities, like the Innovation Challenge, where she raised almost $3,000 last year. This experience, along with her passion for empowering women to embrace their natural bodies, prepared her to launch her business, Harriet. Please help me in welcoming Ellen to the stage.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Caroline. Oh, that's me. Hi, everyone. Like Caroline said, my name is Ellen Curran, and today I want to talk to you all about female body hair. Yes. Because let's face it, right? Women are hairy. And just like your skin, your teeth, your nails, and the hair on your head, your body hair needs to be taken care of. Women in the United States spend $24 billion every year on beauty and cosmetic products. And while there are plenty of products available for women who want to remove their body hair, there are very few products out there for women like me who want to care for their body hair. This is a problem, and it's becoming even more of a problem because millennial women are stepping away from the razor. According to recent research conducted by Mintel Analyst, 33% of millennial women don't shave their underarms, 15% don't shave their legs, and 79% of women keep some or all of their pubic hair. This means in the US alone, there are 31 million millennial women who could benefit from body hair care products. And on top of this, millennial women account for almost half of all beauty and cosmetic purchases annually. So, why aren't there any major brands marketing body hair care products to these women? To answer this question, we have to address the big, hairy elephant in the room. A lot of you all might be feeling a little uncomfortable right now, and that's okay, I get it. There is a big negative stigma surrounding female body hair. As a woman with body hair myself, I've been called gross by total strangers. I've had family and friends beg me to shave before a job interview. And I face moments of insecurity every day, like when I looked in the mirror a few hours ago and I questioned whether my shoes looked okay with my hairy ankles. It's crazy, right? But this stigmatization of female body hair is exactly why no large brands want to touch it. Dismantling this stigma is going to be an uphill battle. But it's a battle we need to fight because no woman deserves to feel ashamed or embarrassed of the body or body hair she was born with. Yes, thank you. And the good news is the time is right to fight this battle. Companies like Thinx are innovating in the space of menstruation and are having huge success. Companies like Dame are doing the exact same thing for female sexual pleasure. Women are demanding solutions to problems that were once too taboo to mention, and brand new companies are stepping up to provide options. Harriet is stepping up to answer the demand that female body hair be not just accepted, but also cared for. We use all natural ingredients to create products for your brows, lashes, underarms, and pubic hair. These products give you smoother, softer, healthier body hair that looks, smells, and feels amazing. And our brand boldly goes where no brand has gone before, reclaiming female body hair as a beautiful, clean, inherently feminine part of the female body. Harriet all started a few years ago because of my personal mission to find the perfect deodorant. Every store-bought deodorant I tried was either full of toxic chemicals, clumped in my underarm hairs, or left me smelly by midday. So I decided to try and create my own. The recipe I finally settled on did a lot more than just prevent odor all day long. It also left my underarm hairs softer, smoother, and healthier. Before this, I'd never given any thought to what sort of care and nourishment my underarm hairs needed. And after this, I started to create products to pamper all of my body hair. It turns out I'm not the only one interested in this sort of thing. 2 weeks ago, I launched a pre-sale campaign for Harriet's first line of body hair care essentials. In these 2 weeks, with a $0 marketing budget, we've already sold over $3,000 worth of products and grown an organic following of over 300 individuals. Thank you. Thank you, I appreciate that. But it's not over yet, and I really could use all of your help getting the word out about Harriet. My ask is that all the bloggers, writers, and storytellers out in the audience bring Harriet back to your following. Let your audiences know about what I'm trying to do. You can find all the information you need at our campaign site, which is www.harriet.co. Together, we can start a body hair revolution. Thank you.
All right, our final presenters are 2015 Cleveland alum Dutch Wanders and his co-founder Christine Schindler. Dutch and Christine began working together in college when they were assigned to be partners in their very first engineering lab. Since then, they have continued to work together in and out of the classroom. Throughout this work, they uncovered countless articles about people getting sick from foodborne illness. They saw an opportunity to help. They approached Sergey with the idea to solve this problem, and just 3 weeks later, they had already talked to over 100 potential users, and they were ready to take it to the next level. Their hustle is almost as inspiring as their consistent positive energy and drive to help people. Please help me welcome Dutch and Christine.
Emily is a little girl who went out to dinner for her 4th birthday party with her parents and ended up in an ambulance. You may be thinking, that's horrible. Was she in a car accident? No, Emily was in an ambulance because of what she ate that night. Emily contracted E. coli on that visit to the restaurant, and she was hospitalized for 4 months, where due to complications, she had a stroke that will put her in a wheelchair for the rest of her life. No one wants to be associated with foodborne illness.
Chipotle stock has dropped 55% since news of their first foodborne illness outbreak. And similar fates have befallen other large, well-known brands. This is because the average cost of being associated with just one case of foodborne illness for a restaurant is $75,000 in retraining staff, legal fees, and temporary closures. But foodborne illness isn't only expensive, it's also dangerous. 1 in 6 Americans every year get sick because of foodborne illness, and 40% of those cases are directly linked to poor hand washing in restaurants. Which makes you ask, why is the current best practice a sign? Employees must wash hands before returning to work.
The world needs a technical solution that can make sure that employers know their staff is washing their hands without any room for human error. Which is why we created PathSpot, our patent-pending system that protects restaurants and their customers from the threat of foodborne illness. Restaurant employees simply wash their hands and then place them underneath a device where they receive accurate notice of any contamination in less than 3 seconds. Either green, you're all clear, or red, you just need to rewash before anyone like Emily gets sick. Then, management teams can review data analytics and see if there's any gaps in their current sanitation protocols.
Of the 1 million restaurants in the United States, we're focusing on those that have a need to prove to their customers that they uphold the highest level of sanitation. These are the portion which are chains and have a high brand to uphold, as well as those which are in regions of the country which require them to publish their sanitation scores, either in a local newspaper, online, or in their storefront window. Our flexible pricing model allows restaurants to choose, either pay up front for the device and then have a small recurring monthly fee for support and maintenance, or to lease the technology from us and have one monthly fee cover it all. We also have incentives to offer our customers for using our device, such as a discount on insurance premiums for the foodborne illness package insurance, public relations campaigns with press releases about the use of the device and PathSpot certified stickers for their front windows. We have cloud-enabled RFID tracking for monitoring of individual employee sanitation, as well as the ability to work with local public health commissioners to ease regular monthly inspections.
We're currently piloting with 3 local area Detroit restaurants, and it's working. On average, customers have used the device for scanning their hands over 170 times during a week, and on average, 3 of those turned up to need to be rewashed, maybe helping save some lives in the process. That's why we're talking to hundreds of restaurants and filling our pipeline with people who want to use PathSpot in the future. Our plan of attack is to start with smaller chains while we build our traction and understand how to refine our device before moving to national franchises. In the future, we see the potential to bring PathSpot to future industries who could be able to use PathSpot because they have the same level of need to uphold a high level of sanitation for their customers and employees as well. Dutch and I started working together on our first engineering lab report, and we've continued as we graduated from Duke University with degrees in biomedical engineering, as we founded and scaled a national nonprofit organization together, and as we've created the technology behind PathSpot.
We've worked quickly throughout 2017. We went full-time on this 3 months ago at the start of the Venture for America Accelerator, and in that time, we've been able to file our provisional patent, as well as bring our product from early stage prototype to fully functioning system. And just this past month, we've installed the device with 3 locations in the Detroit area. And that gives us confidence that we can accomplish our 2018 goals. Specifically, this is manufacturing the product. This is going to be launching pilots with larger chains, as well as getting third-party testing so we can iterate the device and prepare for a full-scale launch late next year.
But we need your help to get there. If any of you have experience with rolling out a hardware product, specifically with manufacturing for durability and scale, please talk to us. Also, if you own a restaurant or know anyone who is a restaurateur or a franchisee, we'd love to talk to you about the potential for piloting. Thank you. And before we turn the mic back over to Sergey, we just want to say on behalf of all the Venture for America Accelerator teams that this would absolutely not have been possible without the dedication of Sergey and Caroline day after day throughout this accelerator. So if you guys will come back on stage, we just wanted to say thank you so much for all of your dedication. I love you.
All right, thank you, teams. Appreciate your hard work over the last 3 months. You've shown exactly what Venture for America is all about. Candidates, I look forward to working with many of you in the 2020 Accelerator. So please, this is a high expectation, but I expect it to happen. This concludes our program for tonight. Please stick around, have some drinks, give your drink tickets to the teams, talk to them, get to know them a little bit, see if you can help them out. Appreciate all of you for coming out here tonight. Good night, Detroit.